Bergs, the point is this one, yeah? Point at that screen, it shows on the screen as well. It doesn't actually, I'm taking it.
Can you guys hear me? Good. For myself and Stephan, regional managers, unfortunately, our titles aren't as glamorous as Mornay. He's got a couple of titles to his name, Ahmed, and we regional managers. Our team is at the back there. Very qualified. If you guys need any, if you have any questions on any products or anything, please have a chat to the guys during a tea break, lunch break, and so on. So we just want to thank you guys for your time that you've put aside to spend with us today. We hope that you guys are going to take some valuable information out from all of these presentations that you're going to see today. Just to give you an idea of, okay, so guys, we've got the NuPay Telegram communication section. So we prefer this to your WhatsApp and your SMSs and that. So if there's anything product related, any new releases, whatever it is that's happening within a NuPay space, we would like you guys to maybe just, if you've got a QR scanner, just during the tea break or lunch break, just scan us. We'd like you to join our family on the other side, not the WhatsApp side, but on the Telegram side. There's a lot of valuable information that we do put on there that you guys can be privy to. If there's any questions that you want to pose, you can also pose on there. We've got a whole bunch of guys and people that are on there that will be able to assist you with any questions that you have.
You don't have to have a scanner. You can basically use your camera from your phone and just zoom at it, and then it will take you to the interface.
So just the topics for discussions between myself and Stephan. So we're going to run through this together. We're both regional managers for the Joburg team, so we do this as a team. Just deployment of DebiCheck. So the experiences, success rate, mandate, initiation fees, or rates, sorry. Health indicator report of industry, rapid payments, multiple acquiring credit to banks, and then Stephan will take you through the last four portions. And obviously we'll jump in wherever we need to jump in if something has been missed. So sit back and enjoy. Okay, so just on DebiCheck. So as was mentioned earlier on by Johan, that DebiCheck rolled out 1st of May 2021. Please understand, it did come with issues. Industry, NuPay, and all service providers alike, everyone had little hiccups. We didn't know the stability. We didn't know where we were heading with it. But from 1 May 2021 to where we stand at the moment, I think we've done really good. As a NuPay, as a company, I think we've really rocked this market. And we've got a whole bunch of amazing merchants that have joined our family, and we're obviously all celebrating the launch of DebiCheck and where we are with DebiCheck. DebiCheck hasn't reached any mature stages yet, so there's a lot more that's going to happen within DebiCheck. There's new systems that probably going to be, or new add-ons that will be added to DebiCheck and so on. So there's a lot more to look forward to. So watch this space. There will be new things coming up sooner or later.
So before Rod go on, Ado, who worked with Ado or NADO? Quick raise of hands. Yeah. Okay, so well done, because it means you've been with us for some period in time. Does anybody know how long it actually took Ado or the Ado system to actually be matured? Like, let's say pre-DebiCheck, where swipe your card, PIN, lekker, know the reports, no issues. A quick guess, how long do you think it took Ado to actually be matured? My wife says I'm a bit matured more, so I don't know, but okay, so no, okay, so it's not 40 years, I can promise you that. Okay, so I'm hearing rumors 5, 6 years. Okay, how long have we been in DebiCheck full on? Almost 2, okay. So how's the experience on DebiCheck so far? It's much more mature, né? It seems better than the 1st of May or the first week of May or the first 2 weeks of May. Okay, first 8 months, okay.
The biggest crash,
August. We'll touch on that, yeah. Lessons learned, definitely. I agree. Believe me, we've also learned lessons on that. So I think let's take the negative with the positive. It took 8 6 years, people. So yeah, you guys were making use of 8. I don't know at what stage, 1999, 2000 or up, or maybe a bit in the middle somewhere. But yeah, a year and a half later, it's definitely going much more smoother. So I think we were all scared, let's face it. We were also, ons boude het so gemaak. DebiCheck, new payment system, what's going to happen? Everybody's asking questions. We don't have all the answers at that specific stage, but we didn't lie to you. If I can put, that's a akelige stelling to say we didn't lie to you, but I mean, we didn't know. If we didn't have an answer, we don't know. But yeah, so remember the 6 years, 8 maturity, and DebiCheck, year and a half, 2 years, 8 months, it's going much better. So
well, look, there's a lot more that's going to happen within the DebiCheck space in any case. So, you know, long live 8.0. But that is a thing of the past, and I think it was the fear of the unknown when DebiCheck was launched. We didn't know where we were heading. So as an organization, from a NuPay's point of view, I think we've done exceptional in the sense of keeping you informed of what is going on, system enhancements and improving systems so that you're always up 24/7, that you're always connected, you're always online. Transactions are processed on time, receipting is received from the banks and so on. So I think we're doing quite well, and we're going to do a lot better. There's a lot more to come. We've installed over 4,500 DebiCheck merchant sites in the market. We only foresee more growth on that, so that number will increase. So some system enhancements on DebiCheck. So when we refer to that, we have obviously had to increase our capacity space on our servers. We've needed to ensure that you are online at all times. And we'll touch on it on the next topic, the multi-banks. We'll go a bit deeper into it, what I mean by ensuring that you are not affected. So when you open your store, your shop, your branch, your business, whatever the case in the morning, you are safe and secure up until the point that you close, and you can process transactions, you can keep moving on.
Roger, just for that, I think maybe just a step back again. So you guys were part of the 4,500 sites, correct? Okay, so it was long hours. I mean, everybody prayed up until the end of April to say, is it happening? Is it happening? Is it happening? And it happened. So our AMs, your staff, yourself, you know what? Thanks for the patience, because it was a hell of a journey. I mean, I need to process DebiCheck. It's live. The 1st of May. The 1st of May was a public holiday. Geez, are you guys open? Are you not on leave? So thanks, your staff, please, the owners, personnel. I mean, if they didn't take it on and accepted the change and listened and try to understand what was being displayed or showed to them as well, I don't think we would have been here. So yeah, you need to give them a hand of applause as well. And koop vir hulle 'n biertjie of iets en sê dankie.
Okay, so the next little stat that I've got, you'll see there's 2 different sections. So I'll highlight December 21 and December 22. So December 21, that was the very first December that we processed DebiCheck, and it was unknown to everybody in the market. We couldn't move transactions back because it became disputable. There was an additional tracking. We could only do 10 days. So the fear of the unknown, where you could see that there was a 31% growth in December. And I think that brought on a lot of uncertainty in the market of, am I going to be able to strike against the consumer's account on that day, where you may have seen a spike in additional transactions loaded, where they obviously then will bring on the 31% growth, which means your normal standard debit order that you had loaded, you may have had multiple that might have been loaded because of the fear of the unknown, and no one knows the pay dates. It wasn't like your ADA. You can move your transactions back and you can run it for 21, 32 days, and you've got a very good chance of collecting your funds. December was a bit skeptical, and obviously there was the date adjustment challenges, so we couldn't move transactions back. It became disputable. It was just too easy for a consumer to say, well, you loaded me for the 25th, you debited me on the 15th, and therefore I want my money back. I'll go to my bank, and they request the funds back very easily. If you take a look then further on into December 2022, there was only a 22% growth. And that, I think, is because of yourself out there being a little bit more savvy when it came to how December worked versus the December prior. So, I mean, it is a 9% decline on growth, which is, I mean, we all want to grow. We all want to get our books bigger. We want to collect as much as we can. But I think there we sort of got to a point of we know when we want to strike. So it was more of, okay, let's see pay date management. Let's get all the employees. Let's see what pay dates the guys are getting paid. And then you can manage your 10 days tracking instead of moving it to a certain day, tracking it for 10 days and reschedule and so on, because it attracts a lot of cost. So I think
that's a valuable point. Louis, I think we had a discussion just before we came in, and we said, you know, we've done 2 Decembers, we've learned, and the first December, the 30% spike. I mean, that's a third of your book in 1 month. So Justin Carstens, I'm not quite sure where he's sitting here somewhere. He's going to have a chat about DOA. So I'm the acronym guy today. You'll understand a bit later why. But yeah, like debit order abuse. So I know the aim is when we go out to people, and sometimes we actually request in a nice way, please can you provide us with a mandate? You know what? We just want to make sure that you guys are in line. There's certain requirements for processing debit orders and that kind of stuff. So then the 2nd December, and Louis, I mean, he's sitting in the back, and he said, you know what? He took the effort to actually phone people and confirm instead of, I mean, 30% now you drop by 2%. So it's not a third of your book now. Now it's a quarter of your book where there's an increase. So there's definitely a lot of responsibility on business owners and guys working for you to make sure that they do, we say, keep it simple, the basics. Stick to basics, then these sort of figures goes down and you see success percentage going up. So yeah, maybe just look at this as well and just try and understand the concept. Sorry, Rodney.
Sorry. I have a situation. But it was that. Hi, my name is Chris. I had a situation, let's say, I spoke with my rep. When you're moving the transaction, let's say, like it's been sometimes the difference date, you can still dispute it and to reverse the money. I have, let's say, customer which reverse the money from October, from September. And when you never move, it's not disputable. The point when you move already, how they did it, I don't know, but they reverse 3 months behind. This is, thank God after the 1st of June already, most of the transaction they couldn't reverse because they become clever. They can't take the money easy. When you reverse, you couldn't do anything. You have to do it again to look for them. This has been very strange. How can this put the transaction, which is already went in, successful, 3 months behind?
Okay. Should we have a Q&A maybe after the DebiCheck? Then I actually think we can touch base on these sort of questions. Okay, well, Vaughan, let's answer it now. Okay, I'll go for it. So speaking about reversibility and disputability, okay, from an AIDA perspective, you know, card and PIN, non-reversible, boom. DebiCheck, there's certain rules within DebiCheck that allows a transaction to become reversible. So remember, reversible and disputable, okay? So the consumer goes to the bank, he lodges a complaint, a dispute at the bank to say, something went off my account, I was not aware of it, and typically what we've seen, okay, meneer, dis reg, then a reversal happens, okay? So the rules within DebiCheck, set out by PASA, the banking industry, the transaction can only actually become disputable if they suspect fraud. Okay, so I'm going to touch base on a bit of fraud later on as well. If you did a date change without re-authentication, okay, so what's re-authentication? When you do a date change via the NuPay website, you basically inform the consumer to say, I'm going to do a date change on your transaction, so please be so kind and accept it or reject it. Okay, so if he's accepted it, then he's aware that the date change and it shows that it should not be reversible. Now, I think there's a third one, but I just can't think of it now. Amount change, sorry, there we go. Okay, and that's the third scenario. So an amount change. You know what? I've uploaded a debit order for fixed value, 10 rand, and now you were debiting 12 bucks. So you know what? Amount changed. So we've experienced with the banks where we've seen where disputes are coming in, and then we asked the questions why. Okay, so with Mornay sitting there, I mean, he's the go-to guy, but not today, so leave him alone. He's still got a couple more sessions to attend to as well. And we look, so education, staff, like, yes, I've done a day change. So we get a query in, we see there's a reversibility. You know what? Everybody said your DebiCheck transaction will not be reversible because it's DebiCheck and it's almost like ADO. So day changes where we see there was maintenance done with no reauthentication. Okay, we've seen where amount changes happened with no authentication happening. And then we saw one or two where some banks, I'm not going to direct to say which specific banks, but we have seen and we've compiled some information where we've escalated it to it. Now, people, please remember, we are not PASA, even though sometimes it feels like we are, because we keep on pushing and we need to get enhancements and we need to make sure that the rules that were set down as a guideline for us and for you should, what's good for the goose is good for the, okay, so it should be aligned. Now, unfortunately, consumer education, I think that's also a very critical component. So people would say, well, I don't want to tell them too much because then they know, as I call it, te veel vertel en ken hulle te veel. So back to basics, you know what? Try and get your consumers to understand how the system also works. If there's a debit order, you know what, for this date, you are liable for this agreement and you should adhere to this agreement. I think that's a point that I need to make, but we have seen where there's disputes that, according to our records, should not have been disputable. We've raised it. It's with industry. It's with the different banks, and we are asking the questions. Now, I don't know if we're always going to get the answers, but we are asking the questions. So we feel the pain because we also feel it. I mean, if you don't make money, we don't make money. If you're out of pocket, then we're out of pocket. So please, if you have got scenarios like that where it seems like the dispute should not be, send it through to the AM, the account manager, or to our call center, and let's just have a look and see what we are seeing. And if there's an issue, let's address the issue. So I'm not sure if I covered your answer, but yeah, I mean, DebiCheck, it's new. It's still in a growing phase. It's not mature yet. Or no, if you maybe got something.
So maybe just to add to that, Stephan is spot on, okay? The bottom line is a transaction can only be reversed or disputed if there is proven fraud. And that's the whole debit order abuse thing, which Justin will talk about. And it's very important that we talk about that thing, because you guys need to get your mandates and stuff 100% spot on and correct. If it's not correct, transactions will be reversed. So.
The transaction which I had, the last one, is showing me the time which is being disputed, 8 o'clock in the evening, which is very strange. Okay, I spoke with the customer. He said to me, she never know nothing, she's gonna go to the bank to check. I give you the story. Okay, after she mentioned somebody did it on her phone. I said, but how is it possible without your PIN number? And after transfer to another e-wallet or something like that. Okay. I said, but it's very funny. 8 o'clock in the evening. She said, no, they did it from my phone. On the phone, you can reverse the money, the transaction. You can. This is like tomorrow. In any case, I made the new debit.
Yeah, 100%. So part of the DebiCheck system is that the banks have made functionality more accessible to the consumers, and it's various functionalities, whether it be to authenticate your transaction on the phone or go onto your banking app. That's where you authenticate essentially, right? Or whether it be to go onto your phone and actually go and dispute the transaction to get it reversed against your account. So all of these channels are being opened up, and it's all around POPI and all these kinds of things. And that's why it's very important that we have the mandates correct. We have to have the mandates correct. If we've got that correct, then we can help you. Then we can go and bat for it, provided that The date was not changed. Now, there's some good news coming in terms of the dates. Okay, I don't want to spoil the rest of the presentation, but yeah, there's some news on that. Okay, so we'll give you some info. It's not cast in stone yet, but there's some stuff coming. And then the second thing is that the amount was not changed. So amount, the date, and then obviously fraud is the last thing. Okay, but the primary things are the first two items is the date and the amount. If that's moved, then unfortunately the transaction can be disputed or reversed by the consumer. That's just the rules. It's how it works. So we've got one or two little things that we do which we help you with. It's the add installment functionality and a few things like that, where we can try and assist you to prevent disputes from happening and so forth. However, it needs to be applied correctly. Stephan did touch on one thing though, which is great news for all of you guys. Okay, and well, maybe some of you are not impacted by this. I hope you're not, actually, all of you. But we have picked up where some transactions were reversed outside of the rules. In other words, there was no date change, there was no amount change, there was no consumer laying a charge of fraud against the transactions. We have been raising these things. Morne, again, is the guy that mined the database and found these things. We've been raising this with the banks and pushing and pushing and pushing. And the great news is that we have secured a refund to customers on some of those transactions that we could prove in this financial year so far that were not there. We're looking at about 5.8 million rand that we can be refunding to customers this month. So there's great news coming, and I promise you we will not stop fighting the fight. We will keep on pushing to get these systems to work right for you. Okay. It's very tricky though to do those refunds now, because how do we actually do it? Do we go and stick it into reporting? We can't, because if we do that, then you need to also go and update an admin system. From there, you need to upgrade Sacra. You need to, there's so many different components onto this. So we're going to give you a spreadsheet with a list of transactions that's impacted in your area, in your business. These are the transactions for the consumers that were reversed that should never have been reversed. And here's the money. And we'll just simply fund that back into your service account for you. So some good news at least. Okay, a little bit of good news coming.
Sorry, there was one more question.
Sorry, just I think what the gentleman in the front said, and we didn't get an answer to that, was should we change the date? Yes, the transaction becomes reversible, but 3 months, for how long does it stay reversible? Forever?
So
12 months.
12 months.
12.
Yeah, it's 12 months from date of debit. So from the date of debit, the consumer has 12 months to go and reverse the transaction. Guys, don't be fooled. In the EFT debit space, that's 20 years.
No, lesson learned.
So that's good news as well, because I was like under the impression, you know what? Ek sê nie knyp, ek gaan al my karpaaiemente terugskryf want ek het nie meer daai kar nie.
They'll take your call. So yeah, it's 12 months. For 12 months after the debit date, the transaction can be reversed by the consumer. Thereafter, no, unless there's fraud. If there's fraud, still yes.
So on disputability as well, when we started testing my bank, we uploaded some transactions against my account as well. And on my phone, we saw the transaction coming in. And I don't know if it's happened to you guys maybe before, but I actually said for the one specific one, I was like, you know what, I'm rejecting this. And then the next moment, my bank actually phoned me. I'm like, geez, you never phoned me. And this is like a small amount, like $10 that we were testing on. It's like, why did you reject it? Are you aware of fraud on your account and stuff? And I was like, really? Yeah, that's good service, my bank, because no, we're actually testing stuff. But oh, so ek weet nie of julle al ooit 'n oproep van jou bank gekry het om te sê, why are you not, do you suspect fraud on your account? So. All right, okay, Raj, sorry for that interruption.
So folks, the questions you're asking are valid, and pitch those questions to us. You have an account manager that's designated to your, as a customer, to your store, to your site, to ask those questions. Those are very, very valid questions. And if you don't know, and the same kind of scenario continues, you know, there's a bit of loss. And if we can investigate and we can take it further and okay, and pitch those questions there, we can get answers for you. So this is a perfect forum for you to ask the question and get that answer immediately, because then you know going forward what it is that you need to look out for, what you can look out for, and be prepared for.
Morning, everybody. So maybe just to add, in the NATO scenarios, we had a over 40-day versus under 40-day dispute rule, which are being reviewed by PASA at this current moment. So basically what it means is that if a transaction is lodged as disputable by the consumer, the bank will actually ask for that mandate to be supplied by you to the bank. And that will actually tie in with the next presentation, which will come to the DOA environment. So it's obviously very important that you guys do apply to those rules and get those manners up and running to obviously get those if we do ask for it.
Okay, so obviously within the DebiCheck space, there were a lot of concerns that were raised. The maximum amount of tracking days that we can have is 10 days. Date adjustment rule. So prior in the past, we were so used to weekend -1, transaction falls on a weekend or on a public holiday, and it automatically defaulted to the day before. So those are all been addressed, and obviously disputability. So I have been advised, and Rodney also sits on the AC Steerco committee, where there is a meeting that's held this Friday with PASA, where all of these points are going to be discussed in the sense of the December time. There's talk about the transactions that are going to be allowed to be moved within 18 days. It becomes non-disputable. And a date adjustment rule, that's throughout the year. We will be able to move it back weekend -1, for example, as we knew in the past. So on a weekend, Friday, on a public holiday, day before. But obviously there's going to be more information that'll come out with the discussion that'll happen on Friday with PASA. And if there's any valuable information that we can relay to you, we will. But yeah, that meeting will take place on Friday, so we'll have more information regarding that. And it is a plus, because we are fighting, as a service provider, we are pushing our best to try to get ADO back in, but without the name ADO. Long live ADO. I was an ADO champ. I loved ADO. DebiCheck, I'm embracing it, don't get me wrong. But I think we had a lot more leeway in ADO than what we do now currently. But we will, as a service provider, we'll constantly continue pushing, and we'll fight a good fight on behalf of everyone. So just to give you a little bit more information regarding how NuPay is in the DebiCheck space. Currently, hello.
Sorry, Rods. Just Rodney said that we'll give quite a bit of information out in the next couple of days. Is everybody receiving our general communication? Are you receiving our general communication? We send out a lot of mails via our general communication. Everybody receiving them?
We've got a channel that is set up to send out automated mail to you guys if you are set up for that. If you're not, please speak to your account managers to get that set up for you in the system. So there's automated mailers for general communication, for billing, for what. So it's categorized, okay? And you can say which ones you want to receive comms on. General comms, very important. You need to receive that, please.
Please get into contact with your account managers. Whoever your account manager is that you've met previously in the past, ask them to set you up to get communication. If there's any questions, like as you mentioned now, with the questions, if you've got any questions to pose, ask them. They will be able to relay the message to you. If they don't have the answer on the spot, they will get back to you and they will give you the answer. Okay. So just to go back where NuPay is currently sitting with DebiCheck, so we have a success rate of 78%. It's not the desired percent where we'd like to be, but we can get there as we were previously in ADO. And I think there's a lot more restrictions, tracking days and weekend -1 rules, and the point prior to that, and disputability and everything. So that all ties in, and hopefully we have some great news on Friday. It doesn't mean we'll be able to, by Friday 4:30, relay the message to you. Potentially the week after, but once we are able to, if we can, we will relay the message through to you. Just another little fact from NuPay side, we've processed more than 46 million transactions from inception, so 1 May 2021 to the end of December. And that equates to mandates initiation. So TT1, TT2 minimal, TT3 in particular, we've processed or initiated 17 million mandates to date from May till the end of December. So just to give you an idea of this graph here. So what you need to focus on more than anything else, there's a lot of information here, but that column on the far right-hand side, the second last column, so that's your success percentage. And I'm going to break it down at the bottom, which makes it a bit easier for you. So the DC health indicator report, now bearing in mind, this is not NuPay, this is industry as a whole. So this is everyone that's in and part of industry. If you take a look at TT1 real time, mandate initiation industry is at 34%. It's a very low figure, a very low percentage. TT1 delayed 41%, TT2 very minimal on TT2, and I think we can all agree that TT3 is king card and PIN, not keeping card and PIN, but card and PIN on the terminal. That is key, 99%. If you take a look at, if you take a look at volumes, and you'll see the volumes that are on there. So we're not too worried about the deviation, but if you take a look at the volumes there, if we can sit on a 99% initiation, mandate initiation successful, we can only go further. So that is where the key is. And yes, there are industries, there are role players in the market that do not have TT3. It's a contact center based, or whatever the case would be, insurance and so on. But I mean, we can't move away from that kind of percentage versus the rest of the TT transaction types that we do have in the market. So just to take you on the right-hand side, if you take a look at mandate suspension and disputes, very big, horrible swear words these. So industry, we have 10% on suspensions, and disputes, we have 15%. But
so that's industry.
That's industry. So to give you a nice fact on NuPay, and that's why I say I think we're doing well. I think we're doing good.
We are doing well.
So, and we can only grow from strength to strength. So on suspensions on NuPay, this is November 22 and December 22. We're on 1.71% and 1.67%. So our suspensions are extremely low, and I think it's due to what you do out there as a merchant and how you educate your consumers. If we take a look at mandate disputes on NuPay side, November 0.38% NuPay versus industry of 15%, and December 1.04 versus 15%.
And I think, Rod, on that, you know what, we spoke about all these lovely machines and boxes, and I think there's method behind the madness for it, because if you look at the TT2, TT1, and TT3 scenarios of transactions that's being uploaded within DebiCheck, hello, IDO TT3 card and PIN, lekker. And then you look towards our dispute ratio compared to industry ratio. People, I think you are with the correct service provider if I have a quick look at what's happening industry-wise. So yeah, please don't be afraid to take on our new terminals and our new technology and process transactions that kan nie gereverse word nie, kan nie gesuspend word nie. Okay.
It's not knocking down TT1, real time and delayed. It's not knocking it down. Just that bottom figure is the right one to be at. So your contact centers and so on will not be able to use TT3, but those who are using TT3 are using it the correct way, the correct manner, ensuring that how you process that mandate, and when you attemptively collect against the consumer's account, you're doing a great job across board. Okay, so can anybody tell me what RPP is if you've heard the acronym at all? And that is Rapid Payments Program. Has anybody got any idea of what that is, or what it stands for, or what you think it might be? I don't expect you to be honest. So I'm just throwing the question out. Have you heard of it? Okay. So RPP, Rapid Payments Program, is an alternative to cash payments. So throwing away the fact of having cash as I want to buy bananas from a stand and Stephan is selling bananas from a stand. Okay, and I want a couple of bananas, I'm going to have cash on me. So if I have an app, and it's an RPP app, and Stephan has the same RPP app on his phone, we literally connect and I make payments to him immediately. Money leaves my account, money reaches his account. Plain and simple. That's what RPP is. It is And you'll see here, BankServe Africa CEO Jan Pulbauer. The platform has been built, and we are in the market acceptance testing phase. So there's a lot that's going to come out from this and about this in the future. Just not anytime soon. So there's not much information we can give to you about this. And we give you a basic, and I'll show you just a little diagram after this on what the process flow looks like. So this enables South Africans to make real-time payments using simple identifiers like mobile numbers, mobile numbers or email addresses. So purely it's an app-based, app-driven, on your cell phone, smartphone, where I will connect to Stephan and I can make immediate payment, as I mentioned earlier on. This is to become the preferred e-payment option in South Africa after launch. Possible future disbursements options such as NuCard. So there's a lot of things that can potentially be tied into it. So NuCard, for example, we can probably build in an integration for it where we can have where NuCard can be involved. And we know there's disbursement onto card, so there's no cash, no physical cash allowed. Okay, so just to give you an idea, he wants to buy from her. She has the app on her phone. He has the app on his phone, and Bob's your uncle. So that's how quick the stream is. He wants, he pays, he leaves. So it's that quick, it's that easy. But as I mentioned, ladies and gents, there's not much information around it. At the moment, it is a concept. It's in testing, but there's nothing to be launched as yet. Okay, multiple acquiring banks. So NuPay is in a very fortunate position where we are able to assist you as a merchant, and you'll see right at the bottom, which should be right on top, to stay online 24/7, 365. In essence, what this refers to is we have been able to acquire 4 different acquiring banks that we work with, creditor banks. And with those 4 banks, we are able to, if there's any downtime, so for example, if your acquiring bank is Nedbank or Absa or whatever the case may be, if there's any downtime on that bank, we can physically switch you over to another acquiring bank, and you won't even know that it's done. So we'll still be able to process your transactions. You'll still be able to do mainnet initiation on your terminals and so on. So you will still be live and active. You will not have any downtime, and you can just continue with business. You will not know, and your staff will not know that you've actually been switched. We will know because we would need to do the switching for you. So it's all dependent on how do we determine when do we switch you off? When the bank has been off for 3.5 days or 1 minute, or there's a little glitch or something, but that is something that we'll manage on our back end. And the concept of this is for you to be up and running 24/7, not affected by anything or transaction or processing. What you will notice the difference is, though, is when you take a look at your reporting, and you'll see the creditor bank initially was Nedbank, and the switch took place here, just under line 10, where Nedbank experienced a couple of issues. And this is also to avoid August 2021. So we want to throw that away. That was a very sore time in our lives. We're trying to avoid that situation again, where I can say to you, Christo, I'm going to move you from year to year, and you're not even going to know, but you can carry on moving, and we're not going to have these issues. So your reporting is just going to show slightly different on creditor bank. There's not going to be any other difference except you'll still have the date loaded. You'll still have your installment amount action date. Nothing changes. It's just the banks. When that initial priority bank, for example, Nedbank, Absa, irrespective, when that is back online, we'll move you back over again. You still won't even know the difference. Your business will continue, and there won't be any glitches and any pauses or any havoc in the back end. Life will just carry on as per normal. Okay. Uninterrupted business.
And I think that's good news. Being a service provider, being able to offer a solution where if we do see that there's a little bit of issues with a specific bank at that specific day or time, where we can make the call and be in a position where we say, guys, we know there's load shedding. We know that people are struggling to get to your branches because of traffic lights and stuff that's not working, and your time is limited. So that downtime scenario that Rods is referring to, there's still a bit of detail that we need to discuss and identify how, when again. But that's the mere thing. I mean, the service provider being able to select between 4 banks, I think that's something that's really, really, really good.
Because I've been told we run out of time because we talk too much. But one more thing I just want to point out is that part there. No additional cost implication is if switching is required. There may have been a question that might have been pitched, but I'm just going to pitch it out to you now before you even have to ask it. We move you over and we process your transactions as per normal, nothing changes. Move you back once the acquiring bank is back up and running again, and we move on with life. And as I mentioned, you don't get affected in any way. Okay.
Okay, can we carry on or? Sure. Okay, Roger, thanks. Much appreciated. So a quick one. He's looking after region 1 and I'm looking after region 2. In the RM space, regional managers.
Bergs, they don't know which one's region 1 and region 2.
Yeah, but I'm just saying because
The best region and the second region.
yeah. Okay.
A
So,
team, B team.
okay, so I said I'm going to be the acronym king today, but Rog has already mentioned RPP and nobody knew what it was. So hopefully this AVS and SIM swap that you guys are seeing that's being displayed should add some value to your business. Now, AVS, again, okay, account verification systems, okay? Account verification, so again, the focus point for me on that, it's account verification. Now, why would you need to verify an account? Okay, I think it's quite simple because you want to debit the account. If we have a look at the DebiCheck success percentages that Rodney displayed a bit earlier, we can see that success percentages are not where we are used to within the ADO environment. So why not give you guys a tool where we can say, how can we help when you are onboarding new customers to have a look and see if the banking details or the bankstaat, wat noem je het in Engels? A statement.
Yeah.
If it's actually that consumer's bank statement. I mean, having a look at fraud, I'm sure a lot of people has been part of or have seen some fraud happening with bank statements. I mean, they look damn real. Die stempel is daar, die logo is daar, Piet Pompie se naam onderop, it's there. You know what, it feels the same, it looks the same. So, AVS, account verification systems, we need to get your success percentages up and make sure that you are actually debiting the correct account. Now, it's a real easy process. It's not a difficult process. It's available on our new payments website. So I'm not sure who's familiar with it, but I'm just going to maybe click and then just show you. Okay. So benefits of AVS, I mean, verify account, prevent fraudsters from defrauding you, debiting the correct account, have your success percentages increase. So that, in a nutshell, I think it's the main core benefits of AVS. Okay. So, yes. Is it?
That's cold. That's just the egg one.
I'm sure we can ask. We'll ask quickly. Okay.
What gave it away? Me shaking, yeah. So that's why I'm moving. I'm trying to warm up.
Okay. So we're all familiar to our new payments website, single log-on user. You log on to the website. Normally you go to your DebiCheck or POS or MPS, you generate your reports and you see, okay, this is what I collected, or when you do your maintenance. So again, on AVS, there's some fields that's required. So you enter these fields, okay? Then you can see initials, this is my name, surname, Pompies, that's my ID number, but I'm not displaying my full ID number, okay? I bank with ABSA, my cell phone number, what type of account, and then I press a submit. Okay, once I've pressed submit, roughly about 10 to 20 seconds, we'll give you a reply. Now, on this reply, we will not give you the correct details and we're going to say to you, Piet Pompies het 10 verskillende bankrekeninge. No. What we are displaying is to say, okay, so the details that's been provided, initials, is there a match? Okay, so you got a match. Does the surname match? There's a match. Okay. The ID number, is there a match? Yes, there's a match. account number, yes. And if you look at the bottom, does the account accept debits? Yes or no. And has the account been open longer than 3 months? So just by having a look at this, maybe implementing something with your people for onboarding new customers, new consumers, because I know qualifying new consumers sometimes seems a bit tricky. This is a value add service, people. And you know what? It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's there. And I'm definitely encouraging my people because I hear when we're out on the road, yes, it's tough out there because working hours, it's not the same. It's not a 10-hour day anymore. The consumers, when they come in, you know what? 1 out of 15 qualifies. So when you get the 1 out of 15 that qualifies, maybe take 10 seconds and just confirm that this guy is going to be the real deal.
So I think the key thing to take away from this isn't your core tool to do affordability on your consumer. You're still going to do your normal affordability. Bank statements, pay slips, your credit checks, the whole duty. So from A to Z, and pretend this didn't exist. This is just an extra add-on to say, okay, I can compare this to what I have received from the consumer, and I can match apples with apples. So it's just an add-on, but I think it's a very, very good value add, just to give a bit more peace of mind, if anything.
Okay, so AVS, so I'm just going to move on. Then SDA, strike date, you know, strike date, it's not when we're putting our tools down and we say, kom ons gaan loop en the demand an increase or something. So within NuPay's database, obviously we process, like you've seen, millions and millions of transactions. So why can't we take that data and perhaps maybe give you an indication of what we've collected on a specific consumer? Now, when I mean collected on, having a look at the correct pay date. So are your staff uploading the correct pay rate? You know, it's a monthly guy that gets paid on the 25th. Why is it transactions for the 10th, as an example, being uploaded? So strike date analysis, it's on NuPay's database of what we've got on consumers. And we basically give you when we've received the responses, and also what's the average installment amount that we've seen on this specific consumer. Now, with that, we can also show you the last 4, 5, or 6 accounts that's actually linked to this specific consumer. So again, looking back at success rate, DebiCheck, we need to get it up because we want you to collect more money. Looking at AVS, you verified accounts for new guys, and now stuff has been processed. Transactions has been processed. So are you hitting the correct date on your consumer? Okay, so again, it's a merchant number. We log in. Now, once you've logged in, you're basically going to select the consumer's ID number, slap it in, and then I think this screen should actually make your eyes pop to see. Okay, so on this specific report, I can see responses. I can see success, failures, cancelled, disputes, suspended. I can see on which date, and the number of successes and failures and disputes and cancellations that occurred. So from my side, I would definitely make use of it. Why not? It's there. Okay.
Again, an add-on, not your main form.
Yeah. So on this, we basically take 12 months of data on a consumer, and we display. So you know what, guys, pay rate management. I'm sure you're aware of pay rate management and how it should be looked at and how it should be used. But a guy could potentially move from a monthly payer to a weekly payer, and then you would see some sort of snarks or quickies. But yeah, AVS, strike date, I think it's valuable. So
the screen before, so the consumer may have now moved from a weekly to a monthly or monthly to weekly. So that pay slip that you're receiving in front of him is going to tell you, or the bank statement, is going to tell you what his frequency is. So go back one quickly, Steph.
No.
Donkey. So he may be getting paid the 5th of each month now, not the 25th anymore. So this was his frequency. He's now moved employers or business or jobs, or his employers now decided to pay him weekly, and that may be true now. But like I said, it's an add-on. It's a plus to your normal standard routine of how you assess your consumer that comes to your establishment.
Okay, so again, after AVS, now we've done the strike date analysis. Now you can suddenly see, okay, like, hello, why is there like 10 different account numbers linked to this guy? So double checking account details, it's critical. Okay. So I'm the guy that's a picture sort of guy. I like drawing pictures and getting.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're just going to take a 10-minute break quickly, bathroom break, and then we'll move over to Kwik Kadima. Just a quick, I see a lot of people recording the screens. We are recording the session. The session is recorded, and we were going to make it available to all merchants. Okay, so after all of our conferences, this is recorded. You don't need to record it. We've got you. All right. If we can be back by 12, that will be great. Thank you.
I think we're going to start again. So moving on from those acronyms, I'm not quite sure if you guys have heard of Kwik Kadima, specifically aimed towards that's maybe making currently use of a Delter system. Just in a nutshell, your loan management system. So Kwik Kadima, if you look at the word quick, it means quick. So quick means vinnig. Nee? Yeah? Okay, so the aim of Kwik Kadima is basically to give you a solution whereby you can take your agents out into the field and basically originate new loans in a quick and easy, simple way. Okay, so uploading a customer documents, taking a pic, doing the affordability check, and then the actual uploading of a debit order via TT1 or TT3. Okay, so please, you're going to hear a lot about Kwik Kadima in the weeks, months to come. So I think the main thought process of Kwik Kadima is we are aware of people coming to your shops, okay? But now with load shedding, electricity crisis, when are you operational? Is it a normal 8 working hour day, or is it actually down to 4? So please think about Kwik Kadima, because this can be a viable solution for you, where you basically, instead of waiting for the consumers and customers to come to your shop, where you could actually start implementing solutions where you say, you know what, I'm coming over for a cup of coffee at your home. I'll see you tonight at 6. Okay, so it's the ease of uploading on a loan management system that's actually simplified and quick and easy. Okay, so functions on Kwik Kadima, I mean, we've touched on it. You can add a customer, there's reporting. So for people that's making use of a WebFin, Delter, you'll be very, very surprised how simple Kwik Kadima is. So I'm just going to move over onto the actual video. And I think the video, it's a bit beter as wat ek is en bietjie mooier as wat ek is. Okay. Okay, the quick features, but obviously you're adding the client details, employer details. You also have the ability of doing a credit check on the consumer. So it's a simplified, it's a dumb version of your WebFin Delter system. Having a look at the screens, please just bear in mind, for now, this is only available on a physical PC and a tablet. The aim going forward is to have this capability also maybe on a smart Android phone as well. Okay, some screens, credit checks.
Sorry, Bergs. Just a question from my side quickly. Is it available on an iPad, or is it just Android?
It's for now Android only, and again only on a tablet and a PC. Phone currently not yet.
PC as in a laptop, or?
Jammer, on a laptop. And a tablet. Yeah, Android. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the movie, guys. You guys are stressing me out now. Seriously? Okay, reporting, so transaction reports, you know what? Within the WebFin, your database, consumer base basically pulls into your Kwik Kadima, so your search functionality, it's there. Don't be scared of it. En die gaat ons video.
Kwik Kadima is a handy mobile extension for WebFin, our credit management solution. This mobile app, which is run entirely on an Android tablet, enables credit providers to process credit applications while they're on the move for customers in remote locations. This simplifies the credit application process for both the customer and the credit provider's agent. To begin the loan issuing process, Kwik Kadima allows you to add a new customer or select an existing customer. Other functions include credit checks, limit reports, and determining whether or not they have approved loans that are ready for payout. You can view the customer's profile and see their current loans, view, add documents, perform a credit check, or perform an affordability check, and even take a picture of the customer. The affordability is in accordance with the NCR's Affordability Amendment Act, which makes provision for the customer's income and living expenses. Simple and easy-to-use app is intended to streamline credit applications. The loan agent can complete the requested capital, loan term, payment date, and repayment method, which is currently DebiCheck TT1, an authorized and secure debit order platform. Kwik Kadima is designed to allow agents to sign up a consumer right away with a simple, guided, and easy vetting process. Get applications approved and disperse funds. It is quickly becoming the go-to app for quick and easy credit applications without brick-and-mortar offices.
Okay, so I think you guys agree that that video is baie beter as ek is because it explains exactly what it does. Okay, so I think in a nutshell, just to maybe rephrase again. So we want to give you the ability to actually go out to the market instead of waiting for the market to come into your shop. Now, it sounds, why would I want to do that? Well, why would you not want to do that? I mean, we've got the functionality for that. So on that as well, I think if you listened, you would have heard a word called NuCover. I'm not sure who's familiar in the room with NuCover, but okay, raise of hands, NuCover. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So would you guys like to make money without giving away money? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think for a long time, the question's always been asked like, why don't we look towards new pay, towards insurance, that kind of scenario? And I think we always said, you know what, we stick to what we know and what we're good at. And that was basically payments, processing debit orders, collections, stick to what we're good at. So quite recently, we actually engaged and we've launched NuCover. Now, NuCover, it's an option that we can provide to you guys if you're fully integrated via WebFin or Delter, where you can actually get a return on investment without forking out any capital to make money. Now, if we have a look at this, we go to credit life, we go to funeral, and then also a lifestyle benefit. Now, why would you want to use it? Again, return on investment, okay? So I think the next question that should be asked is like, is it legal? Because we always hear a lot of rumors, credit life, is it, mag ek, gaan ek in moeilikheid kom? Is it not? Is it a gray area or is it not a gray area? So we are really, really 100% committed, and we can assure you guys that our underwriters gave the proof, hy's geapprove, they're happy. If there's any illegal scenarios or anything being raised against us or against you with regards to the NuCover product offerings, that they would actually stand by you and actually fight the fight for you if something should happen with regards to the NuCover product. So I just want to get that out of the way. So looking at the different products, who's got funeral cover here? Okay. Who's got life insurance? Okay, so the majority of the crowd has got some sort of insurance policies in place and funeral cover. Now, when we speak about the standalone funeral cover, I mean, it's quite explains itself. You pay for a set cover amount, and that's the premium for that set cover amount. Now, I think the phrase is, where do you get the money? So in this scenario there, if I look at the funeral cover, then you are paying a amount for a specific set of cover, and then there's basically a commission that comes back to you that's sitting here, okay? So when we move over to our lifestyle policies, benefit, you'll see that I've dotted down a percentage. Now, what this basically means, when you are originating a loan, we add that specific percentage, dependent what you selected on your packages, to the loan, okay? Then that loan gets processed, and on this amount that was loaded, we are giving you a commission back. Now, it's working on a sliding scale, so each percentage that's there has got a different, how can I call it? I don't want to say kickback because that just sounds illegal, but it's a commission percentage that you guys would get back monthly. Now, again, it's legal, we can back that. If you are making use of a WebFin or a Delter system, we do the loan setups, loan types, the packages within the WebFin and Delter system for you. But you need to be integrated. So no manual swiping on a TT3 or no manual uploading on a TT1. Reason being is, as you can imagine, we said paperwork needs to be in place, it needs to be legal, we need to have the correct documentation if the questions are being asked. So people, again, cover, if you pay more, you receive more. So on the lifestyle benefit, as an example, add-ons, value adds for the consumer, grocery vouchers, airtime vouchers, stuff like trauma counseling. And one would think, why would you need trauma counseling, you know? Why not? As a dog, something serious happened in the family, sometimes somebody would just like to speak to somebody. This trauma counseling, it's available 24/7, if I'm not mistaken. A repatriation of a body, you know, it's not a nice experience if you need to move bodies, stuff like that. So it's included as well. So please, if you do have any questions on a NuCover, speak to us. Let's show and explain to you what we can offer you and how we can do the setups if you would like to get an additional source of income without touching your own pocket. Okay. It's monthly and it's recurring, okay? So when we look at a commission percentage, as long as the consumer keeps on paying, I mean, if you are paying your policy, we're receiving it, then that commission for that specific policy, it's recurring until either there's, I don't want to say it, a death or retrenchment or it lapses. So obviously if you don't pay, then there's no cover. Okay. Then that's me for the day. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much, but yeah, please, if you do have any questions, engage with me and Rodney and the rest of the team afterwards. Okay, dankie.
So just quickly in terms of the QR code that you're seeing again, yeah, this is for the platform, which is called Telegram. So there's an app that you need to download on your phone. It's called Telegram. It has the ability to cater for a lot more users at a time. WhatsApp is limited to 250 telephone numbers. You saw earlier we've got more than 5,000 customers. So it doesn't help us using WhatsApp to do communications out to you guys. Whereas this QR code's on Telegram, and then we can connect as many people as what we want to. And I'm also not limited in terms of the words that I send out. So the normal SMSs that we send out for comms to you guys, we can only do 160 characters. So the message becomes very, very short. On Telegram, I can give you proper information and a proper message that comes through. Okay, so it's just our preferred communication channel going forward in future. And that's why we'd like you to read that, use that one, please. But by the way, we've got two different ones. This one is the NuCover one, but there's another one for the Delter contact center as well. So just check your mails for comms that's come out today, actually. And that has the QR code on for the Delter support desk and systems. Thank you.
Will you mail out those QR codes, all of them? Not only the one, all of them.
So was the NuCover one also sent out, yeah? Okay, fantastic. Both of them were sent
Thanks.
out. Thank you.
From the custom masters.